This is Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined once again by British, Commonwealth and European cruiserweight champion Chris Billam-Smith. How you doing?
Yeah, very well. Thanks, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good. How'd you like the extended introduction?
Yeah, I'm not bored of it yet. It sounds good.
I'm glad to hear it. How many times have you looked back on the fight with Tommy McCarthy? It was very close. Some had you ahead, some had him ahead. Have you looked back on it? Have you scored it from watching it?
Yeah, I watched it back pretty soon after, quite a few times. Scored it by 2 rounds to me, and I thought I was being pretty harsh on myself whilst I was scoring it. So yeah, nowhere near my bin box, anywhere near my capabilities, but got the win and got the job done, which is obviously what matters. But there's a lot more to come, and that's what I'm doing now, rectifying it in the gym.
How much of that, your kind of disappointment in your performance, was down to things that you did, and how much of it was down to his style and some of the stuff he did?
Yeah, it was down to me a bit. I think I underestimated his ability a bit. He was very good at his sort of. He's quite, I'd say, more difficult to hit than I thought he would be. Like, he's quite hard to hit clean, very elusive. But I felt comfortable throughout the fight. I never felt, in trouble at all. Obviously, caught me a big shot in the first round, which buzzed me a bit, but had my bearings with me with it within seconds and just sort of laughed it off in a way, thinking, like, can't be making those mistakes. But yeah, no, all props to Tommy. He's a really good fighter and a lot better than I thought he would be, to be honest. So I'd say it was my fault in a way. I'm underestimating him, and obviously him being better than expected.
There was talk immediately afterwards of a potential rematch. Is that something that could still happen? Are you looking in another direction now? What's next for you?
I was happy to have a rematch and put my performance in, which I know I can do, and do a much better job this time. But there hasn't been any talk to me or from Eddie or anyone about it. So I think, I'm not sure how Tommy's eye is. Because obviously that was quite a severe eye sort of bruise, or I'm not sure if there's a break in there or what, but so it would have taken a while for him to heal anyway, I think. So for him to obviously heal and do a full camp and spar, etc., would have been maybe difficult to get out this year. I'm not sure of that, but so yeah, I think we're looking at other options now. Obviously, I've been ordered to fight Fabio Turchi for the European, but I believe he's out this year at some point. And like that, or whatever it is, he said he didn't want it next. Eddie said to me. So yeah, I think we'll do a defence of the European in the meantime, and then maybe fight Turchi early in the new year.
Are you keen to stay at European level for a bit, just to kind of acclimatise and get ready for that assault on the world level?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I didn't put in a good enough performance to well, I haven't once yet in my career get really sort of found my feet with the right performances and the right consistency, and I'm a bit annoyed at myself for that. That might be because the pandemic hit and had 2 rounds against Nathan Thorley. Then Dion Juma obviously unfortunately got injured, which is a fight I was really looking forward to. And then obviously the second time round he was injured and got late notice to do so. So there's a lot of things that might have played into it, but I want some consistency in my performances now and see a bit more progression. I have shown progression, but not as much as I have I know I have progressed in the gym. So that's my main focus at the moment, is just keep improving and yeah, maybe have a couple more fights at a European level before we start looking at world title eliminators. I've only had 14 fights, which is, not a lot to be fighting for a world title anyway. So I think I need a few more learning fights if I look at it realistically. And I think of that extra year in the gym will before we look at world titles will do me wonders, and I'll just knuckle down and really focus on getting better and getting everything correct.
What does it say about you, though, that you've already got to British, Commonwealth, European titles and you're still not satisfied with your performance level? That's kind of a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess it is a good thing. And I think that's how I've always been in a way, just ever since the amateurs. I was never, I was satisfied with my performances maybe, but never satisfied with where I was at. I think it's the same for a lot of people. They achieve, you set a goal and you achieve it, then it becomes, it seems like something that was once hard or looked hard to achieve, and once you achieve it, it's easy. So you look to the next thing, and I think that's the sort of person I am anyway. Just never content, happy, but just not content. And I think always striving to be better and looking for ways to improve. I think that's how I've always been in all areas of life. So yeah, I think obviously it's a good thing, and I think that's what will keep me driving forward and hopefully help me get to world level and win a world title.
Tell us a little bit about the atmosphere at McGuigan's gym at the moment. Obviously, new premises, but some new faces as well. Daniel Dubois has been there a little while now, but the Azim brothers, Ellie Scottney, of course, as we revealed earlier this week as well. So how's that kind of all gelling together? Is this busiest it's been in a long time?
Yeah, it's the busiest it's ever been since I've been in the gym. So I've been there just over 4 years now, 4 and a bit years. So it's the busiest it's ever been in the gym. And it's great because we've got such a variety of weight categories and also experience, like a variety of different levels of experience in the gym. Obviously got some people who've had 1 fight, 2 fights, no bouters, established people, obviously Lawrence, world champion, Fowler verging on world level, and obviously got a big fight coming up. And yeah, it's exciting. It's a really good place to be. Everyone's pushing each other, and it's the camaraderie in the gym is superb.
Lawrence was out on the big AJ show. Obviously, Fowler's got his huge fight with Billam-Smith coming up October the 9th. When you see them training for those huge nights, does it make you all the more eager to get back out?
Yeah, absolutely. I was there on Saturday. Me and 9 of my mates went, so we made a good day and night of it. But yeah, those big nights and watching Lawrence defend his world title it's inspiring, especially as he's my weight division and I've shared many rounds of him. So yeah, it's inspiring for me, and it's great to see him doing so well. And then yeah, we've got obviously Fowler next week, which is another night I'm looking forward to going. And yeah, though I just can't wait to be back in the thick of it myself and have a official fight day.
I want to ask you about some domestic cruiserweights in action this weekend. Sky's first show of their new deal with Boxer. One of them, of course, is Richard Reactpoor, who is the only person to have beaten you as a professional. He's back after a long layoff on that show. Is that something you'd still like to avenge? Would you like a rematch with him down the line?
Yeah, for sure. I'd like it if it makes sense. But obviously, he's taken this fight now, and he's he's been out the ring for nearly 2 years. So, and I'm in a good position. It's not like I'm chasing that fight. I'm in a better position than he is. I'm highly ranked with governing bodies, and obviously got all the European, the British, and the Commonwealth titles. So I'm in a good position. I'm happy with where I'm at. And yeah, if that fight makes sense, later down the line, then great. Obviously, he signed with Sky and Boxer, etc., which I thought was a bit strange, especially as he's obviously come out and said he wants to fight Lawrence for a world title and things like that. And if that was the case, you want to fight for a world title against a British fighter, or at least me for the belts I've got, then I'm pretty sure you want to stay with Matchroom as a cruiserweight. So I was quite surprised at that, but his decision, and maybe down the line the fight can happen.
Also on that show, there's an eliminator for your British title between Mikel Lawal and Stephen Ward. I'll ask you about that fight in a minute, but Are you planning to keep hold of that Lonsdale belt for a while? Is that the plan?
If I can, obviously, the longer I can hold on to all the belts, the better. But it's boxing, and governing bodies all have their wishes and their wants, and you know, if obviously the most established belt out of them, obviously as great as the Lonsdale belt is, and every time people ask me when I've got the belts, which one's my favourite, I was like, the Lonsdale belt is obviously such a nice belt and it's steeped in history, but the European holds a bit more weight on the world scene and with the rankings, etc. So I'd probably I'd keep that if I had to keep one of them and give up the others. So well, we'll just have to wait and see what happens, I think, with regards to how everything unfolds. You know as well as I do, Danny, that how boxing can work, and unfortunately, it's not always how we want it. But if I can hold on to it, great. If not, then I'll vacate, and I won't. I'm not one to hold on to belts because for the sake of it, you know, especially if other lads have earned their right to fight for a belt. I think if I was in that situation, it wouldn't be a very nice thing for someone just to hold on to a belt and wait, mess people around, etc. So yeah, we'll wait and see. But yeah, like I said, the European, I think, is the one that holds the most weight.
And on the two lads trying to earn that right to vie for your title, how do you see that fight panning out?
I've done endless rounds of Mikel in the past. He's very strong. He's improving all the time. Haven't sparred him for a while, and I think I sparred him once in the last camp. But he come in for Lawrence, and then yeah. So I've never sparred Stephen Ward, but obviously he comes up from light heavy, and I don't think he's a massive cruiserweight. And Mikel's got really good punch power, as he's shown throughout his career. And so I think if he can find the shots and, you know, and is consistent enough, he'll win the fight. And I think he'll probably get rid of Stephen. Obviously, he's been stopped before, albeit at light heavyweight. But yeah, it's if I was to pick someone, I'd definitely pick Mikel in that fight.
And just coming back to you, when do you expect to be out next? Will it be December, do you think?
November, December time, yeah. So it'll probably be I think the Saturday is the 13th is the earliest I'd be out. And then any time between there and Christmas, I should be out. So sort of anywhere in that 6-week period, hence why I've been in camp for the last 4 weeks now. So yeah, it's I can't wait to get out again, to be honest, and it'll be nice defending one of the titles, at least one of the titles. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a good end to the year for me.
And I should ask before I let you go, it's quite prominent in the frame. How's married life going?
Yeah, it's all good. We've been married just over a year now, so that's good. And finally, we're moving up to London next week. So we're nearer the gym. Obviously, before I've been away in Kent, and my wife's been back home. So yeah, it's been very good, thank you. And be interesting to see how that goes, because we've never actually lived together whilst I'm mid camp. So it might be in a slightly different mood. So
you're the gentleman. Surely it can't get that bad.
No, I'm sure it'll be fine. We have lived together, but just not whilst I've been in the depths of camp. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest, and it'd be nice to get settled up here rather than travelling home every weekend and taking bags up and down the country or across the country. So yeah, it's going to be nice to actually live together.
Great stuff. Well, I'm glad to hear you're in good spirits, and we look forward to seeing you back in action.
Thanks, Danny. Nice one, mate. I really appreciate it.